Welcome to Junk Journal Mayhem at Studioloo.
It's day 20 and we're on toilet paper or paper rolls. So I've got a couple of things here. I've got a paper towel roll and I've got a toilet paper roll. So there's a couple things you can do with these before I get going that I'll tell you about. So if you're a jelly printer, you can obviously use these to make circles. You can also cut a slit all the way around and then bend the tops down to create like a flower shape, and that will give you another shape. Or you can do little tiny strips and you'll get an even more refined kind of flower shape for all the parts of a flower if you're looking to do that with jelly printing. But I actually want to, use up this whole thing. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just unravel it if I can along its line and see what are the shapes that I have here to work with. So we have this. Immediately I'm seeing like two triangles, two pockets probably, once I trim it up. And then let's take a look at the larger one, the paper towel roll. Okay. Whee. All right, and then this is kind of a big long shape. Okay, so like a big long triangular on both ends. Okay. Think. Let me see how. Yeah, okay. So we're going to just start by doing a little bit of trimming up here. And just neaten the edge right where I peeled it. Okay. And then this one, kind of the same thing maybe. Oops. Oop. Just cutting off this excess peely paper here. There we go. All right, let's get rid of this little bit of scrap. Then let's cut this down to be useful things. So I think if we go like this, I think the hardest thing with these is just getting that bend out of there. Okay. Just kind of rough it up a little. There we go. And then I'm going to cut this off. Triangle and another triangle. And then with this, I think I would like to do the same thing with the ends. Okay. Okay, there we go. We've got 4 triangles. And then we have this thing. And I don't know why, but it's kind of making me feel like it wants to be like in a belt shape, maybe. I don't know. Here's my bone folder. So if you hear like a repetitive banging sound, my son is upstairs with my husband who's working on a project. And my son has this little tiny hammer and he's just like having a good time. All right, so I think that will lay down properly now. So what do you have planned for your day today? Let me know in the comments. I am going to be barbecuing and I'm going to be gardening because it is that season. Okay, so now we need some stuff to cover these up and make some fun pieces with them. I'm going to go grab some paper. Okay guys, no plan, and we're not going to get too fancy here. I just grabbed a bunch of scraps out of my scrap bin so that we can just get going on this. So I think I'll start maybe backing with this pretty scrap of dyed paper. And I need to get a new glue book. I actually used up a glue book today. Hooray, a new glue book. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, let's get going here. Oops, this glue stick is a little bit goopy. It was too close to the heat, I think, for a bit with the, the heat gun for another project that I was working on. You know, as it happens. So we'll glue down as many as I can on here. I'd be totally okay with creating kind of a set of these. Okay. They will definitely need to be stitched because these want to roll. They want to roll. Okay, so we can only do 3 on that one. Let's find something fun to cover the other one in. I also need to take out my recycle bin because it is full. This is cool, but I think I want to use that on the paper towel roll. So maybe we'll work with that for a sec here. Just shove all the stuff back. Me and my mess. So let's just cover this whole thing in glue. Okay. This is just a book page from a book that I'm using for something else. Got some of this paper we could put here too. And a little edge from a folder right there. Good, good. Maybe I'll also take this strip here and just kind of have it go like down here for interest. Okay, then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to stitch. I think, oh, I gotta seal down this other piece too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one we gotta glue it down on something here. Kind of want it to still go with this stuff if possible. Is that a good fit? No. Well, maybe. Where's my glue book? Right here. Let's just get it sticky and start sticking things to it. Which is how I make a lot of my scrap projects, I should mention. Flying by the seat of my pants and just, you know, figuring it out as we go. That there. And this here. Voila. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is head over to the sewing machine and just stitch around the shape of each of these, and then I'll be right back. Alrighty, so these have been stitched, and sorry if you can hear my laundry in the background. It's I just started the studio laundry because we need towels in here. So now I'm just going to cut them all out. Okay. Oops. All Alrighty. These scraps in here that can go back in my scrap bin. And this last one here. I'm so impressed with myself. I have used enough scraps now that like my scrap bin is not overflowing. In fact, I would say it's not even full. Yay! All right. Oh, I like that one. Actually, that goes nice with this little pocket family. It's like it's the special one. Okay, then let's do the same here. Cut this out. I need to keep that piece. Okay, get rid of all these scraps that we don't need. And this, okay. So what I had been thinking for this, and I don't know if my opinion has changed or not, kind of quickly flatten it all down. So I was going to make sort of like a belted piece of ephemera, but that's going to stick up if I do that. And I can cut it off. It's not a big deal. So like it would wrap around something else, like, and we'd put maybe 2 circles there. But I kind of feel like now that I have it laying here, I want to do something different. So the first thing I think I'll do is put a little bit of art glitter glue under that piece of paper because I stressed it out with the fold. There we go. Now that I'm changing my mind, as one does, so it's too long to be one thing. But it would be 2 really pretty tags. So let's chop it in half. Right there. Oh yeah. They just turned out a lot prettier than I anticipated, and I don't want to use them for that. So this can actually just head back in the scraps, I think. Unless what I might do is, do I have... You know what? I think I'll do this. You don't always need to have a punch on hand. You can just make it work. I'm only doing this because I want to use scraps. 1. Ah, go in there. 2. I can trim this one straight as well. Oops. So teeny. Okay, good. So now we have 3 of those. Nip off the 4 corners. To create these little labels. Okay. Then glue them onto each of the pockets. This pocket would go in this way, so probably put that here. Okay, so then we have those 3, and then this one, and I think I like how they are together. Oh, and then I found this little, so from my glue book, I pulled out this little chapter 1 label because I just love how it looks, and it's nice old paper, and that text is really cool. So let's put that on there. And then I've got this old Congress card, playing card label. And it's that cool gold. So maybe we'll stick that on here. Just using things up on my desk that are in my view. I've got this little thing that came from Shell. Maybe I'll take one of these little figure 6 label. And then that's some sellotape that I pulled out of an old book, as one does. I'll glue that one on here just to give them all like a little extra interest. So now they're a little more interesting. So we've got 4 pockets. Now we need to put something on the tags. What do I have hanging around? I've got fairies. I've got this one. She's a little light. Got this one. Oh, she'll go good. I have her. Yeah, let's go with these girls. They're cute. Okay, so let's glue them down here. But I can't help but look at this beautiful book that I am using as a glue book. It's a really old book. It's got very patinaed pages. It's like a late 1800s kind of book. Super pretty. And I'm going to snip her toes off a bit because I don't want her to be to the very tippy top of this. Okay. Okay. And this one, just want her to kind of be coming onto the page there. Trim the excess off. Okay. There's that little 2. See, sometimes you just gotta scoop these little bits out of old books because they're just cool. Maybe I'll put that on one of these tags. Why not? Make sure she's all glued down. Oops, put that there. 2. And then I think I'd like to work some of this grungy book into this little collection. So I used to do this all the time where I would tear off the edges of a book page. Okay, so you get rid of the kind of white off the sides. Then just create like some tiny little strips and bits and bobs from your book page by tearing it across. This one's a little bit crispy, so sometimes I think about how it's nice in the junk journal world to make your work bookish, because you know that's what we're using an awful lot of when we're creating ephemera and things, right? We are using old books and we're making them interesting and new. So this is one way to do that. So you just take these little strips, right? Go in here. And just add little bits. Just look at the words though, because you know this can be a little you want to make sure there's nothing weird. because it does become a little bit central to the theme of the book, or the page, I mean. Okay. So there's a bit for that one, and I think that does add. So I'm just trying to get this little piece of sticky paper off my finger. I'm getting sticky here. I'm going to cut that one into a tag. Okay, so there's that and that. And then I think I'm going to use some of this. This is my eco-printed fabric here. I'm going to pull a piece of that to stitch on the top of that tag. And the other one. So I need 2 of them. And this one, do I want to cut it into a tag or just leave it as a card? Maybe keep it as a card. Okay, so then I will... Oh, I gotta take 3. Let's glue 3. I can't help myself, I'm a collage nerd. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing here with the word bits for continuity here. Wrap that right around. And then also, you know, I could do the same thing on the pockets. Like I could, if I was really trying to, you know, keep this as one collection, right? You can do that. Why don't I do that? As I look at it, I'm like, oh, that looks so pretty. Let's do it. You gotta love old books. Somebody was asking me the other day about, like, what do you do with, you know, your old book pages? Like, you know, because I think some part of this, you know, thing I'm doing right now, this junk journal mayhem, right? It's kind of about like using things up, trying to be environmental. We're doing the best we can kind of thing, right? And so I totally think it's a valid question. So what I can tell you with these old books, the paper inside them, right? I do a couple things. So I would say it's on about a 50-50 basis right now. Sometimes more, sometimes less. That I use them. I will recycle half of them, and the other half will go into. I keep like this basket down under me. So if you'll see me like pull things off, and it's going in one of 2 things, a recycle bin or a basket. And then what I do is I put it into, like, half of it goes in recycle and half of it goes into my pulp for paper making. So like I do make paper. I have 4 little screens. I make a lot of little pieces of paper. So like whenever you see me say like, oh, I'm using this bit of handmade paper, a lot of time I made that myself. Like I kind of do it in the background, just, you know, doing stuff that I don't always mention here, but I couldn't make possibly a video of everything that I kind of putter with, because then I would spend all my time sitting here instead of puttering around making stuff. And one of my things that I'm going to be doing shortly will be kind of this new, like, so you know how you have children, right? And for like a few years, you sort of devote your whole life and your body to meeting their needs. Well, then, you know, they get a little more independent and you can actually focus on yourself again. And that's where I'm getting. So I'm making this deal with myself about creativity so that I don't burn out. And it's about creating like this balance of how I get to spend my time. So I have already been like, I have a swimming skating membership at my gym, but I'm upgrading it to like a full-on fitness membership. And I'm going to start like every week. I'm going to be like balancing the hours of my day between work, doing stuff with the kids, doing creative stuff, and like doing something for my own physical and therefore mental health. So like I'm kind of doing those 4 pillars of my life. So yeah, that's that. Let me go stitch these though, and I'll be right back. Okay, so stitching's done. Added my fabric, added some scrap lace that I had hanging out in my bins over beside my sewing machine. That's one thing. Another tip for you about, using things up. As you know, we as creatives tend to collect a lot of stuff and have a lot of scraps. Keep a little bin or a bag beside your sewing machine of little bits of fabric, lace, even paper if you want, and you stitch every time. When you make ephemera and you do your stitching, add a little bit on everything you do, because it really does kind of make your work a little bit more personal. And I don't know, maybe that's one of my signatures and I'm giving it away a little bit, but I really don't care. I think we all have different supplies and styles, and we can all do things a little differently. And that is my way. Okay. So we took a paper towel roll and a toilet paper roll, and we created this collection of 4 pockets and 2 fairy tags. So that is it for me for now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you tomorrow for more mayhem. Bye for now.